Hello, this is Doug at Woodspun Round. We're glad to have you in the shop with us today. Going to turn a pin here. Got my mandrel in the headstock and the mandrel saver in the tailstock. Have some oak pin blanks mounted up, and these pin blanks are out of the bench portion of a church pew. Folks seem to like when the material comes from something else, and you share that story with them. It really piques their interest. But these pins are being turned for the Freedom Pin Project. Started years and years ago by one of the generals in the military, and he has since died, and the project seemed to sort of go away. But there are pockets of turners who are still doing these. I'm a member of Worldwide Wood Turners, which is an online-only international wood turning group. We meet on Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern. Go to worldwidewoodturners.org, and on the page is a button that says Go to Meeting. Click on that a little before 7 or even right at 7 or anytime after that, and one of the moderators will let you in. And it's a great time of a demo, lots of gallery. We show what we've been doing over the last week, and just share with one another, ask questions if we're having a problem with something, or we're trying to learn how to do something. Quite often those questions can be answered during the meeting. But right here we're just turning, that's just one of the blanks. I'm getting it close. I'm not doing the finish turn right here, but I am getting it really close. Using a 1/2 inch skew. Someone asked me one time about the Badan that I was using, and it's not a Badan. I don't own a Badan. It's a great tool, but I don't have one. This is a 1/2 inch skew, spindle skew, and it has become one of my favorites, especially when I go to turning pins and things like that. Even finials, I'll do a lot of the rough turning with this skew. Just not there yet, not comfortable enough yet to do a finial completely. So I'll use the skew to get it rough sometimes, and then a bowl gouge to do the final turning. The bowl gouge is just my comfort tool. It's what I go to when I'm not sure what tool to use. I use a bowl gouge. This oak turns really nice. It's really old, really dry. So I have to be a little bit careful. One of the blanks that I turned out of the 5 pins, one of the blanks actually had a little piece split off of it, but I was able to go back and smooth that out enough so that it didn't totally go away, but after I sanded, it was barely noticeable. So the recipient may never know that it's there. Just feeling how close am I to the bushings on the end. This is a Slimline Pro Click pin that I'm turning. I'll show you putting it together after a while. These are the first of these that I've ever done. The turning is not a big deal. They're a bit thicker than the Slimline pins, and so in my opinion, that makes them a bit easier. I don't have to worry about the very, very thin edges and catching those and having them rip out. These didn't have that problem. Just checking, making sure it's where I want it. And they are. So it's time for a bit of sanding. I'm going to sand these from 100 grit all the way up to 320 grit. I'll tell you more about that as we get to the finishing process, but the sanding is from 100 to 320. I'm not going to show you all of that, just show you the process, and it's the same for every grit. Sand a bit, feel, sand a bit, feel, till I'm satisfied with where we're at. We're up to finishing now. We're going to start off by putting a base coat of CA glue. And in this particular case, I'm using Parfex 3408. Parfex 3408 is a very thin, almost water thin CA glue. And so it will go into the molecular structure of that wood. You see there, I just rubbed it on very quickly. And I'm waiting just a few seconds, not very long. I'm gonna put some more. I'm gonna move down the paper towel just a touch. It's a fresh area, partly so that the glue doesn't soak straight through the paper towel onto my finger. With the very first one, I didn't move down the paper towel, and that second couple drops of glue went straight through and stuck to my finger just a little bit. I was able to get it off before it was too bad. It takes just a few moments. Put this glue on, and as you just saw, I wiped it right back off. In the time between wiping it off and coming back to the piece with my abrasive paste, that glue has dried. We're going to use a little Axe abrasive paste here just to buff off this surface here, make it perfectly smooth. It doesn't take long with this process either. It's a matter of putting it on. I just rub it around, make sure I've got it on the entire blank. And I'll start the lathe very slowly for a couple of reasons. One, I want that abrasive to start working without the speed to break it down. But also I want to make sure it's over the entire piece very evenly before it starts to work. And so got it slow here, right about 200. And over the next few minutes, I will gradually, as I feel the grit breaking down, I'll speed the lathe up, and I'll move eventually when I'm ready to clean it off. I'll start speeding the lathe up as well, which will not only remove the grit, but also will remove the oils and waxes that are the paste part of the abrasive paste. I want to remove them so that my wax sticks very well when we get to that point. Here's the wax. This is the wax the Axe polishing and restoring paste. It is a carnauba wax. If you used it in the past, this is a better wax formula. It has double the carnauba wax in it and does a really good job. So I am proud to say that I use the Axe products. They are extremely good products. Just giving that wax a few moments, just a few seconds to kind of dissipate the solvents that are in there. And you see I turned the lathe back down. I want to make sure it's spread evenly, and also that circulation gives those solvents a little more air so that they can dissipate better. I'll turn the lathe back up. We're up to close to 2,000 RPMs here. We're just going to give that a very light buffing at first, and then once the wax has been buffed and there's a pretty good shine, we'll start adding a little more pressure. It's good with carnauba wax, it's good to heat it up just a bit, and then when it cools back down, it really gets harder, will last a lot longer, and be shinier. So that comes gradually. You don't start right off giving it a lot of pressure so the heat builds up. So we got done. We've taken it off the mandrel. We're over at the assembly table now. Buffing wheel is almost in the way, but I think you can see I should have zoomed in a bit. But this is, like I said before, this is the first time I've done these kits, and I'm going to cut out, but I have to look over at my instructions pretty often because this is a little different from most of the other kits that I've ever done before. Little adapter piece that goes in one end. We'll press it, And then there's a center section that goes in. Got to do it the right direction. There's a long end and a short end. The short end goes into the lower body. Again, press it in. And then we jump up to the upper barrel. Several pieces go into this upper barrel. Starts off with a 3-part plastic piece that goes in, and push it in by hand, and then you got to use the lower barrel to push it up further. And we'll go ahead and press those together actually. That'll push that plastic piece up to the top end. These are pressing together very easily. I'm amazed how easily they press together. You have to use the ink refill to finish pushing that plastic mechanism all the way up in there. But you also have this sleeve that goes in from the top end. It holds the clip. It all works together very well, but you got to get it all in the right order. This is one of the pins that it really surprises me that the order is super important of how you put them together. Excuse me. Just checking my instructions there again. There's a spring that I know goes in here somewhere, and this is where it goes before the plunger cap goes on. Well, there I am. I'm pushing that plastic mechanism further up into the pin. I think I was putting the plunger cap on, and it really wasn't ready for that. I've got to take it back off, then I have to put the spring in, then I can put that plunger cap on. Just a little confusing. But eventually we got it, and the other 4 went together without any issues. If you'd like to participate in Freedom Pin Project on the Worldwide Woodturners website, there are a whole group of addresses under Freedom Pin Project. There's a whole section, but it's on the front page of the website. You click on that Freedom Pin Project, and it'll show you all the addresses. If you want to give it to a specific branch of the military, we've got people that are representing every one of those. So you have that opportunity as well. I appreciate you watching. This is Doug at Wood Spun Round. Until we get to meet again, I hope you're able to spin them round.